So you can find this later on the channel, my channel in YouTube, and as well in the Google Classroom. So first of all, let me tell you guys, good afternoon. So it is going to be a pleasure to be with you in this second conference by having everything, all the information related to what grammar is. Um, so I have done the presentations of this class so we can have a more interactive class. So what are we going to do, guys? Now I'm going to ask you to use a lot maybe your microphones or the chat that we have right here. I will be like focus on the information you're going to share. I will explain the grammar structure, and later on I will give you some sentences, and I'm going to ask you to give me your answers by using again your microphones or by typing your answers in the chat so I can read them later on, and I can see that all of us are doing a great job right here and that everything is getting as clear as possible. So first of all, guys, we're going to have the review. If you remember in the previous conference, the ones that were right here, and also for the ones who checked the video on the classroom, so everything that we studied was related about determiners and the use of the ing form to add more information. So to start with, guys, we're going to have a review of the information that we studied on unit number 9, and then we're going to continue with unit 10 and the grammar on it. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to ask you the following, guys. I will be showing you right now some sentences and some options, and then you are going to type in the chat the answer you consider is correct. Maybe you can chat, you can type the letter or maybe the word, and we're going to work like that. In this, the second exercise, and then we're going to continue the same way with the following exercises. Okay? So, Dianisas is requesting for permission. Okay. Now let's start working, guys, with the first exercise we have right here. We have in here, don't worry. So we have all of these foods contains nuts. Don't worry, of these foods contains nuts. So we have none, all, and every. So for you, what's going to be the answer, guys? In the case of Kevin, he says none, none. None, okay. Let me check it here. So I guess, oh, so well, I made a mistake right here. So it is none of these foods. Yeah, give me a second. Okay, let's go back. So in this case, yeah, the answer is none. Oh God, none of these foods contain nuts. Yeah, you're right. So the answer is that one. Kevin, don't take a look at the answers, okay? Don't worry, none of these foods contains nuts. So the answer is okay. So none. We can say all, yeah, that might be an answer, but basically what the information is right here is that we can say none. That's why you don't have to worry about anything, okay? Yeah, my mistake in the case of the first one. Let's continue with the second one, guys. So which one would you like? And then we continue. Game looks fine. So what's the answer? No, neither, all. Which one would you like? Game looks fine. None, neither, or all. Okay, Kevin says neither. He says neither. Noemi says neither as well. Yeah, as you are seeing, the answer is neither. Okay, so we cannot say none because every time that we have none, we have to use the preposition of and then another determiner. And here we don't have that one. In the case of letter C, we have all. All game looks fine, but the question says which one, so you're giving an option. So in this case, we're going to have neither. Neither is the correct answer. Perfect, guys. So let's continue. In the case in the third one, so we have I think, and then we have people like chocolate. So what's the answer? Every, all, or none of? Okay, good guys. So the answer we're going to have right here, it's all. Yeah, we're going to have all here. We cannot say every because every we use it every time that we have a singular form. We cannot have people right here. So it would be like I think every person likes. In the case of none of, we need to have a determiner. None of the people, none of these people, none of those people. So in the case of all, it's correct. Okay, let's continue by having the following one. They are delicious, but I can possibly eat them. And then we have all of, each, none. No. Okay, all of, each, or no. So Christian says, Christian, go ahead. Let's see. Diana, Elvis, perfect. So it's yes, Kevin, perfect. So Elise, yeah, the answer is all of. Yeah, we cannot say each them, no, because we need to have a noun. In the case of no, we cannot have an object pronoun after no. We have to use them with all of them. Okay, now we're going to finish with that side, and now we're going to move on to the second side of the screen. So we have I burned, and then my hands when I took the roast out of the oven. So what's the answer? None, all of, or both? Both of. Yes, definitely you're right, guys. We have to say both of, because how many hands do you have? Just two. And the case of both refers when you have two items, two people, two things, two places. We cannot say all of my hands because you use all of whenever you're talking about three or more things and you don't have three or more hands. And known would be correct if we had the preposition of, but we don't have it right here. So the answer is letter C, both of my hands. Okay, let's continue, guys. Next one. And then we have of our biscuits are individually wrapped. Continue, guys. Is the answer each, every, or all? So we have each. Isaiah says, oh. Let's take a look at what the answer is, everyone. The answer here is all, and I will explain to you why. First of all, we're going to see that every cannot be the answer because it is impossible for you to have every of. It is impossible. Now, you could have the answer each of our biscuits, but if you're saying each, the verb to be would have to be in the singular form, is. Each of our biscuits is individually, but here the problem is that we're not having is, but we're having are, the plural form, and the only one that we can use in the plural form is all. All of our biscuits are individually wrapped. Okay, yeah, it's a yes, congrats. Now, bring me, guys, you're doing a pretty good job, okay? So let's continue with this one. I guess they ate, and then we have cake, known, every, or both of. Okay, Amelia has given the answer. And we'll continue with SAS. Perfect. Christian. Alright, Kevin. Alright. Based on your answers, guys, and based on what the correct answer is, yeah, the correct answer is every cake. We cannot say none because, yeah, we need to have the preposition whenever we use none, and we would have said no cake. That would be okay, but here we can have that as an answer. And both of, we cannot say both of because we need to have a determiner, both of the cakes or something similar in this plural form. But here, because it is in the singular, it's better for you to use every. Okay. And the last one, guys, so we have Sebastian or Thomas likes tomatoes, and we had the answers neither, both, or no. Okay, so we have Ovidius, Diana, Elvis, Isaias. Perfect, guys. So the answer for this is going to be neither. Neither Sebastian nor Thomas likes tomatoes. In the case of both, we can have both because in here we're talking about no one person nor the other one. In this case, neither is the correct answer. Both, no, because you need to have both Sebastian and. You need to have and, no, no, nor. And we cannot say no Sebastian nor Thomas. No, the correct answer for this exercise would be neither. Neither. Okay. So, well, guys, pretty well done. So, I could see that you have been practicing this. So, like, I guess there are no questions with this structure. So let's move on to the following one, guys. So now we're going to complete the sentences by adding information. So I'm going to give you the beginning of a piece of information, guys. And what you will have to do is to add the last part by adding something you consider on your own. And what you're going to do is to add this piece of information by starting with an ing form. And I will give you first of all the sentence, and then I will give you my example, and then I want you to start doing what you're on. Do you remember the woman? So do you remember the woman? Do you remember the woman? So remember, you need to add information by having an ing form. Do you remember the woman? In my case, I would say, do you remember the woman drinking soda in the cafeteria? Do you remember the woman drinking soda in the cafeteria? What might be your own answers, guys? Do you remember the woman? Okay, a video, that's a good one. Working in the store, perfect. Let's continue. Someone else, guys. Do you remember the woman talking in front of us? Good, Elvis. Talking in front of us. Yeah, Isaias. Do you remember the woman studying at the library? Perfect. Kevin says, do you remember the woman talking to my friend? Yeah, exactly. That's the way it is. Yeah, remember in this case we're using reduced clauses, yeah? Instead of having, do you remember the woman who was studying at the library? Do you remember the woman who worked in the store? So what we're doing is reducing these clauses and then adding the information by having an ing form. Making up on the bus. Christian, that has to be on. Making up on the bus. Perfect. But it's going to be like that. You have the idea, making up on the bus. Yeah. And I don't know how women do that, guys. They start making or putting on makeup when they are going on the bus. That's something that is incredible. Okay, let's continue. Let's see. She didn't see the kid. She didn't see the kid. What might be the answer, guys? She didn't see the kid. She didn't see the kid. Okay, good one. Ovidia playing soccer. Perfect. She didn't see the kid playing soccer. Another answer we can have, Kevin says playing with his toys. Okay, yeah, that's something good. Just giving, make sure the spelling of with. Yes, perfect. With. Dear, she didn't see the kid bothering her son. Oh, yeah, that's a good one, Diana. Yeah, and thanks God that she didn't see it. Yeah, imagine maybe she would have hit that The kid. Okay, so let's see. Cutting his sister's hair. Oh, okay. That what kind of cruel, yeah? Cutting his sister's hair. Reading a book, yeah, Noemi. It's okay. Painting the wall is a yes. Perfect. Okay, let's move on to the next one, guys. He's talking with a teacher. He's talking with a teacher. Okay, he's talking. He is talking with a teacher. He's talking with a teacher. Okay, teaching me math. Okay, teaching me math. That's okay. Okay, Kevin teaching me math. Someone else. Okay, trying to understand. He's talking with the teacher, trying to understand the class. But who's trying to understand the class? Like the teacher? Okay, yeah. I would say that is correct. Maybe the meaning, yeah, trying or maybe trying to teach the class, or trying to plan the class. Okay, but remember that this information is about the person that we have at the end. So he's talking with a teacher, and in the case of your sentence, it's a yes. It's like asking for feedback. It will be like the teacher is asking for feedback. Remember that your sentence with the ing is referring to what the person is. In the case of the first one, do you remember the woman sitting or studying at the library? So the woman is was studying at the library. She didn't see the kid playing soccer, so the kid was playing soccer. In the case of this activity in the ing form refers to the last person that we have in the sentence. So he's talking with a teacher. He's talking with a teacher. I would say fail. Okay, give me a sec. I'm going to type it here. But there's a problem. Yeah, but it is not that. What are you saying, Kevin? That we as teachers make you fail? That's something not so good. But in the case of failing, in this case, it would be like the action of the person no passing a subject. It wouldn't be like the action of a teacher maybe assigning a low grade, but it is not because the teacher wanted to do so, but that is because of what the student did. I would say that maybe he's talking with a teacher, drinking coffee at the stairs. I'm going to type it. Drinking coffee at the stairs. So he's talking with a teacher drinking coffee at the stairs. Okay? So remember that the ing form is about the action that the last thing we're talking about. So here we're giving more information, not about the guy that is talking with the teacher, but we're giving information about the teacher. He's talking with the teacher, and what activity the teacher is doing in here. So drinking coffee, maybe eating lunch at the cafeteria. Okay, so he is talking with the teacher. Okay, maybe we're going to continue with the next one, so we can take a look at now. This is something extra that we had. We also have information that we do at the same time of having another activity. In this case, we can say, I saw him in his bedroom, but what do you think the person was doing in the bedroom? Okay, checking. Okay, that's something good. Checking his cell phone, watching videos on YouTube. Perfect. I saw him in his bedroom. What else? Video Kevin. Perfect. Playing video games, exactly, Isaias. Taking a nap, yeah, okay, Dan, that's something good. Doing his homework, okay, doing his homework online, yeah. Taking his classes with teacher Dennis, maybe. Something like that, but playing his cell phone, yeah. So, but if you see, so what we're doing is like adding more information about the last thing that we're talking about. So in this case, I saw him in his bedroom. Yeah, you saw him, but what else he was doing in his bedroom? So in this case, watching video games or well, watching videos on YouTube, checking his cell phone, playing video games, taking a nap, doing his homework, playing his cell phone. Okay, so let's move on to the following one. So I am at home. How about you guys? What can you say about yourselves? I am at home. Working on my computer. Perfect. A video? What else, guys? I want to listen to your own answers. What are you doing? You can say, teacher, I am at home. Ovia says, working on my computer. Getting bored? Okay, Elvis, why? There's just something like with a lot of creativity. Okay, taking a shower. Alright. Okay, you just try to put on your earphones, Gabby. Okay, let's see. As Susana says, taking a shower, perfect. Noemi cleaning my house, reading a book in the case of Isaias, in the case of Diana, doing my homework. Christian thinking in the quarantine, okay, I guess all of us are thinking about it. Okay, perfect. Learning on a conference class, perfect. Yeah, that's something good. Okay, yeah, you see, yeah, it is kind of better like this, guys, that you're taking your time to check your own information. And how about the following one? Mary was lonely. Mary was lonely. I would say that Mary was lonely, listening to the Temerarios. Yeah, she shouldn't do that, but but she's doing it. Okay, trying to understand all the class. Okay, lonely. Yeah. Remember that lonely it's when you don't have anybody with you, and that's why you are sad. Trying to find a good couple. Oh God, Kevin, that's a good one. Trying to understand the class. Yeah, that's why she might be lonely. Okay, remember that lonely and alone is not the same. Okay. Mary was lonely. Okay. Good one, Elvis. Drinking tequila, perfect. Yeah, trying to drinking tequila, trying to get happy, but in which way? A video, okay. Maybe not drinking tequila, maybe like doing something else, right? Listening to sad music too. Yeah, Christian, listening to sad music. Okay. Mary was lonely. Maybe we can have one more answer so we can continue with the next one. Okay. So well, let's move on to the last one, guys. If you remember, the last one was about using germs or talking about activities. Now let's move on to the following. It says in the case of Isaias, in the case Mary was lonely, talking with her imaginary friend. Oh goodness. Yeah, but at least if we don't have like, the same as in the movie that of that guy who saw dead people. Yeah. Okay. Now let's move on, guys. One of my dreams is what is one of your dreams? It says becoming a doctor. Yeah, that is one of your dreams. Christian, traveling to China right now, Christian, for sure. Are you real? Maybe you can do it, but no, not this time. Okay, cooking with my dad, but sometimes I get frustrated. Oh, why? Because it's kind of difficult to cook with your dad. Okay, having my own family, good, Kevin. Learning French video, I guess, is one of your biggest dreams, and not only for you, but I mean for everybody. Creating an ONG, but okay, obviously the case of ONG, that is what it's in Spanish. ONG, like organización no gubernamental, it will be something like that. But in English, it's an NGO, an NGO. Okay, it will be like NGO. Okay, buying a house, Noemi, that's a good one. Yeah, in the case of NGO, that would be like non-governmental organization. Perfect. That is one of your dreams. Perfect. Let's continue. My favorite hobby is. What's your favorite hobby, guys? In my case, I would say that my favorite hobby is watching video games. How about you? What's your favorite hobby? Watching series, there you go. Isaiah, what type of series? Isaiah, in the case of a video, listening to music. Okay, Kevin has the same, Diane has the same, all of you guys, but it's listening to music, okay? Listening to music, but guys, what type of music do you like listening to? Okay, and in the case of his, Christian says, watching horror movies. Okay, Elvis says, baking cakes, good. Reading books about interesting things, that's what Azucena says. Let's continue. Noemi Pineda, drawing different pictures. Check the spelling of different, Noemi. Okay, Kevin says, oh my god. What is oh my god? Okay. Okay, but that's perfect, guys. Listening to music, reading books, watching horror movies, baking cakes, drawing pictures. That's something good. Wow, let's see. Let's move on to the last one, guys. And now give me your own opinion of what is an easy activity. What do you think is an easy activity? Remember, what, in your opinion, is an easy activity? Maybe an easy activity for me, it's eating. Eating is an easy activity. Teaching English is an easy activity. Do you think so, Ovidio? Okay, it takes some time. Maybe the case of planning, but it's easy, okay? Okay, Noemi is sleeping. Okay. At least if you don't suffer from insomnia, yeah, that's okay. Sleeping, then eating unhealthy food, yeah, or eating fast food. That is an easy activity, yeah. Drawing for me, okay. Something that is easy for you. Talking or taking problem with my dad because he's strict. But do you think that's an easy, or maybe maybe you could say having problems? Having problem with my dad because he's strict. Okay, getting angry is this activity, Gabby? Okay, Kevin, what is the synonym of what, Kevin? So maybe I got lost about it. Using a cell phone. Okay, so yeah, but depending, because if you give me an iPhone, yeah, that's not going to be for me an easy activity. Oh, in the case unhealthy, and it has to be unhealthy, Kevin. Unhealthy. That might be food that is not healthy for your body. Unhealthy food, and that might be like fast food, junk food, everything that has a lot of fat, a lot of things that related to carbohydrates, cholesterol. So that is unhealthy food. Okay, but pretty much, guys, I can see that you've been studying and working with this, so let me congratulate you. Okay, cooking, my favorite food, that's something good. That's an easy activity. Okay, now guys, we're going to move on. We're going to stop right here. This was only a review. I wonder, guys, if you have any questions with this before moving to what we have in Unit 10. Any questions in the case of the use of determiners and in the case of ing forms to talk about information added to something? Okay, apparently no, guys. Okay, let's see for me if everything is okay. Okay, thank you, say yes. Okay, now let's move on. If you remember, guys, as I typed in the document that is on the Aula Digital, and as well the information that I sent to you last night, so we're going to start talking about going places. And in here, we're going to have two different lessons, lesson A and lesson B, or lesson 1, lesson 2. In the case of lesson A and lesson B, we're going to have the same topic, that is report to speech. And the first one is going to be about statements or sentences. The second one will be about questions and instructions. Now, in the case of report to speech, the first part, this is exactly what you have in the book, talking about statements. But now, let's move on to the information that I have prepared for you. So, what is report to speech? The name of the topic that we have in the book is reporting what people say. And we use report to speech when we want to tell someone what someone else has previously said. Okay, that is important to mention right here. So what are we going to have right here? The first example will be like this. Take a look at what she says. In the case of the woman in blue in the first picture, I've composed a song. I've composed a song. So that is what she expressed. But now let's continue into what the lady in orange says to the one that is to the guy that is in the blue sweater. She says, she told me, referring to the woman in blue, she told me that she had composed a song. She told me that she had composed a song. Okay, so if you see, what we have right here is that in the first sentence, the expression is exactly what the first person said, but what we're doing in the second sentence is retelling what the other person said, but not using her words, but I'm going to start using my own words to retelling. So this is basically what report to speech is. Okay, and so we can add more information. We are going to check the chart that we have right here, reporting what people say. Okay, so when we express what someone has explained, we have two different options, direct and indirect speech. In the case of direct speech is exactly what a person has said. In the case of indirect speech, or what we're going to study today, indirect report speech is what explaining what the other person said, but using my own words. Examples. In the case of the first one, we express what a person has said by using the person's exact words. So that means we are not going to change anything. And when writing it, the phrase has to be within quotation marks. Let's take a look at the example. The expression that we have right here is I will never talk to you again. In the case of indirect speech, we're going to say I will never talk to you again, because it is exactly what a person has said and it is written. What we're going to do right now is to enclose this sentence in quotation marks, and then we're going to add she said, or maybe we can have she said at the beginning. She said, and then we use a comma, and then we introduce what a person said. In this case, no changing everything. I will never talk to you again. In the case of the second part, in the report to speech section, so we're going to have, if we don't want to say what the person has said literally, we have to use it indirectly. By doing so, the phrases will have some changes. Why? Because we're not saying this exactly or literally as the person said it before. So that's why we're going to take the same sentence, I will never talk to you again, but now instead of using her own words or the person's own words, I'm going to use my own words, and that's why we're going to have the changes. What changes? In the case of the tenses, she said that she would never talk to me again. And if you see, not only the tense changes, because we'd say in here, I will never talk to you again. She said that she would never talk to me again, because the sentence was said directly to a person. That's why she said that she would never talk to me again. So that is report to speech. Again, direct is when we use exactly the word the person said. And in the case of report to speech, we are going to use my own words to express what the person has previously said. Okay? Now, let's move on to something also important to take into account. A phrasal report speech will generally be introduced by a verb in the past. And we are going to use generally two different and most common verbs, say and tell. And because we're going to use it in the past, we're going to have said and told. But what is the difference? Many people ask about the difference or ask for the difference between say and tell because they only translate it from Spanish. And so we can better understand the way we have to use it, let's take a look at the information right here. It says, say will be followed directly by the phrase or the particle that. We use say when the phrase is general. And in the case of tell, will be followed by an object pronoun. That might be me, you, him, and as well we can have a person that is receiving the action. We can have a noun like my mother, my sister, her father, and so on. And after that, we're going to use the phrase. It could also be preceded by the article, the particle, that. And we use tell when the phrase is specific. And I'm going to give you this example, and then we're going to continue with another one. It says Mary. That is what Mary said. I will probably sell my flat. Flat is a synonym for room. Flat is normally what we the expression of room, but in British. I will probably sell my flat. Okay. So and we have by using say. Mary said, and we don't add anything, said that, remember that can be omitted or not, that she would probably sell her flat. That she would probably sell her flat. We're using say or said in this case because we're talking about something that she expressed in general. She didn't say this to a specific person, but she just shared that information as a general thing. Maybe you were just like in her near her bedroom and you're listening to her. Well, I will probably sell my flat, and then you can say, okay, Mary said that she would probably sell her flat. But when Mary goes directly to you and maybe is talking to any of you and is telling you, okay, I don't know what to do. Maybe I will probably sell my flat, and then you can tell someone else, Mary told me, but that is more specific. Mary told me that she would probably sell her flat. Okay, so something else that we can do, and I'm going to ask you guys to type what you think about. If you have seen Nayib Bukele as our president has been talking very regularly on TV. If he appears on TV and he says something, what are we going to use in order to report what he has said? Are we going to use say or tell? I want you to type, guys, your answers. Are we going to use say or tell? Okay, read it says say. Okay, say. Perfect. One more answer. Said. Okay. Yeah, you're right. If you listen to Nayib Bukele talking on TV, so what we're going to do is to say, for example, let's suppose that Nayib Bukele says, El Salvador, we have one more case of coronavirus. We have one more case. We have one more case. You can say, yeah, listen, Mom, what Nayib Bukele says. Nayib Bukele says that we had one more case. Nayib Bukele said. But said because it is something general. But if it is something more specific, let's suppose that I tell, the last person, if I tell, okay, we're going to have an evaluation, but this is for you. It's a yes. So it's a yes. You are going to find some. You will have a different exam on the classroom. You will have a different exam on the classroom. Now, am I talking about something general or I'm being more specific? Hello guys. If I tell, okay, so I am more specific. So in this case I have to use tell. So Isaias is going to say, oh well, the teacher told me that I will have a different evaluation on the classroom. So that's going to be the difference. Say, and that's something you shouldn't forget. Say is going to be for you to talk about something that is general, but in the case of tell, it's going to be when you are more specific and that is directed to one person. Okay? So, any questions so far, guys? Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so one of the different difficult thing about report to speech, and that's something I really understand, it's the tense shifting. So you do have to pay attention to the tenses you're going to use. This is a chart. Remember, all of this information is going to be on the classroom, so you're going to check it out attached to the video, this video that is going to be uploaded on YouTube. So in the case of the tenses, how are you going to change them? Yeah, you're going to have like this. If it is in the simple present, I like ice cream, so you're going to have the simple past form. He said that he liked ice cream. Present continuous, I am living in Paris. Then he said he was living in Paris. And then we had the simple past. We're going to have the past perfect. Then in the case of the past continuous, we're going to have the past perfect continuous. Yeah, in the case of the present perfect, we're going to have the past perfect. In the case of the past perfect, we're going to continue using the same tense. So it is going to be something, well, just as a clue, the simple past, present perfect, and past perfect, if you see, we're going to have the same past perfect form. So there will not be any changes at all. Okay, and then we're going to continue by using will. Every time you use will, you're going to use will. And in the case of would as well, we're going to have would and would. In the case of can and could, the reported speech will be the same use of could. In the case of should, we're going to have the same should. And in the case of might, I know that we don't have the modal may, but for may and might, the reported speech is going to be might. Again, how can you learn them by heart? Just by memorizing them. Okay, you need to practice and practice, checking the different tenses, the tenses that you're going to have in the direct speech and the ones that you have to use whenever you're using the reported speech. Okay, so let's continue with some examples. So here we have, he said I will travel to United States soon. He said I will travel to United States soon. So here we have, he said that he, because we're using the modal will, I'm going to use would, and I'm not going to use the same pronoun I, because I'm referring to something that he said. And if he said I will travel, is because we're talking about the same person. He said that he would travel to the United States soon. Now, in the case of the second sentence, she told me I am taking classes online. She told me I am taking classes online. She's referring to her, so that's why we say she told me that she, and then was taking classes online. And in the case of the third one, they said we are really busy. So they said that they were really busy. Yeah, and that's why, as Sena is telling us, make sure, guys, you focus on the tense. Take a look at the tense, and in the case of the pronouns, it's important also that you change them. Now, the question that Gavi is asking, is it mandatory to use that? No, it is not mandatory. You can use that, or if you want, you can omit it. The problem is that in the quiz, I was asking you to use that, so we had the same the same answer. So you focus that you can use that, or if you want, you can omit it. The problem was that in the quiz, I needed like to provide like almost 10 answers for only one sentence. So that's why instead of having a lot of answers possible, I had in the instructions to use that. However, that it's not mandatory. Maybe you can use it when you are writing something because it is something more formal. But in the case of speaking, it's something that you could avoid doing, and that's no problem at all. So you can say, he said he would travel to the United States. That's something good. He said he would travel. But if it is something formal and you're writing academically, it would be good for you to say, he said that. Okay? Okay, so let's continue. Something else you have to take into account is the use of time and place in reported speech. Most of the time we only focus on the part of the tense shifting, but sometimes we don't pay attention that much to time and places whenever we are reporting what someone else has said. Now take a look at, in the case of today, if you listen to the person say, yeah, I'm sick today, maybe you're reporting, yeah, that person said, or my grandmother said that she was sick that day. I've got a piano lesson. That's the first example. I got a piano lesson today, so she said that she had got a piano lesson that day. So that means instead of saying today, because you might not be expressing the sentence on the day that the person said it. So that's why it's better for you to also report the time and as well the places. You're going to see that later on. So in the case of tonight, that night. In the case of tomorrow, we can have two different options: the next day or the day, or I mean the following day. Okay, then we continue with next week, next month, next year, next day, and we can say the following week, the following month, the following year, etc. Ago, before. So if I tell guys, I went to the supermarket 3 days ago. When you can say, well, the teacher said that he had gone to the supermarket 3 days before. Instead of saying ago, before. Yesterday, the day before, or the previous day. In the case of last week, last month, last day, last night, we're going to say the previous. The previous week, the previous month, the previous night, the previous weekend. And we move on with the following. Now, whenever you say now, you have to use them. Here, there. When you say this, but when you're talking about this, in the case of time, we're going to use that. This time, this week. So for example, I didn't visit my grandparents this week. Well, he said that he hadn't visited his grandparents that week. Then in the case of this and that, we're going to use that. Does he like this shirt? She asked if he liked the shirt. These we're going to change by using those, and the day before yesterday we're going to say 2 days before. Well, those are some examples, and let's take a look at some other examples I have in here. My mom said I bought some milk yesterday. My mom said that we're going to focus on the change of tense. Bought, we're going to have bought. My mom said that she had bought some milk, and then instead of saying yesterday, the day before or the previous day, so that might be a possibility as well. He told her, you can take these pens. He told her that she could take those pens. If you see in the case of can take, we have could take. Remember that we only have to change can into could. In the case of take, because it is an infinitive, we're going to just leave it like that. In the case of these pens, we're going to have those pens. They said we are studying now, and they said that they were studying then. And my sister said, we don't like to live here. My sister said that they didn't like to live there. Okay, guys, do you have any questions? Susana. Okay, yeah. This file is going to be shared with the link of the video on YouTube in the classroom, so you can check it out later on. So, any questions, guys, so far? Okay, this is clear. No, perfect. Okay, now how can I identify if this is clear at all? So we're going to have the same, guys, as in the review that we have at Unit 9. We're going to have the same exercise. So what are we going to do? I'm going to tell you the different sentences right here, and you will have to write or type on the chat the sentences in the reported speech. Okay, so let's have like a competition. So let's see who have them, all of them correct. Okay, so let's start with the first one, guys. The first one says you have to use you have to start the sentences or the reported speech by using the words in parentheses. He said, and then we have he works in a bank. Okay, guys, report it, please, in the chat. He works in a bank. He said. He works in a bank. He said. Okay, yeah. He said that he worked in a bank. He said that he worked in a bank. He said that he worked in a bank. Perfect. He said that he worked in a bank. He said that he worked in a bank. Okay. He said He said he. Oh. He said that he worked in a bank. Okay. He said, yeah, Elvis, that can be omitted. Okay, he worked in a bank. Okay. Just make sure, guys, you do something or you take something into account. Most of you who have taken this evaluation in the classroom have some difficulties or some sentences, even though they were correct, they sent or they were shown as incorrect. First of all, because you didn't add capital letter at the beginning. Remember that it is important to have capital letter at the beginning, and at the end you need to have a period. I can see that some of you are adding the period, some others no. So just make sure that you start your sentences with capital letter and at the end you add period, so you don't have any problems by taking or when taking the evaluations on the classroom. Okay, and let's see what else. Yeah, and if you want, you can add them at that right here. There's no problem. Or if you want, you can omit it. It's up to you. But I will try to be as clear as possible in the instructions. If you can omit it or if you can add. Maybe after this, I'm going to assign another activity for you to check everything that we're going to study on this day. Okay? So don't worry about it. Okay, let's continue, guys. Second sentence is going to be, we went out last night. She told me. We went out last night. She told me. Let's see. We went out last night. She told me. We went out last night. She told me. Okay, let's see. In the case of Kevin, take a look at the tense. Kevin, he was going out. Okay, maybe we can change that. In the case of Isaiah, she told me that they had gone out the previous night. Perfect. She told me. Oh, let's see. In the case of Gabby, she told me they had gone out last night. Maybe we can change that last night for the previous night. Alright. She told me that they had gone out the previous night. Perfect, video. Elvin, she told me that they had gone out the previous night. Perfect. Remember that here we had to change last night by using reported, the previous night or the night before. That might be both possible answers. Okay, let's continue. Everyone, I didn't take the exam here 2 years ago. Wow, I didn't take the exam here 2 years ago. He said, remember, he said, I didn't take the exam here 2 years ago. He said. Okay. I could say that maybe they might take kind of longer. Remember, is he said, okay, let's see, Isaiah. He said that he had not taken the exam there 2 years before. Perfect. You're just missing a period, Isaiah. He said that he had not taken. Perfect. Okay, good. He said he hadn't taken the exam there 2 years before. Okay, Elvis. Let's see, Gabby. He said that he had not taken the exam there 2 years before. Yes, that's the way it is. Ovidio, he said that he had not taken the exam there 2 years before. Exactly. He said, yeah, Kevin, good one, you can admit it. He said he hadn't taken the exam there 2 years before. Perfect. I get this is getting clear. Okay, let's move on. Next one, guys. I didn't go to the party, my brother said. I didn't go to the party, my brother said. I didn't go to the party, my brother said. Okay. Ovidio, my brother said that he hadn't that he is in negative form. Ovidio, that he had gone to the party. He said, yes, my brother said that yeah, you can. Well, where are you? Okay, that he had not gone to that party. Well, to the party. It would be okay if you say to the party. So yes. Then, in the case of Kevin, my brother's. Okay, I don't know what happened to here. Okay, my brother said, and then Kevin, you shouldn't use commas in the case of reported speech. My brother said he had not gone to. He had not gone to the party. Yeah, Ovidia, thank you for the correction. My brother said he hadn't gone to the party. Perfect. My brother said that he had not gone to the party. Yeah, my brother said that he had not gone to the party. He had not. Remember, in the case of had not, it has to be with not. My brother said that he had not gone to the party. Yeah, that he had not. Yeah. Perfect, Kevin. Let's continue. Next one, everyone. Lucy will come later, my father said. Lucy will come later, my father said. My brother said that. In your sentence, as I say now, you are missing the subject. My brother said that he had not gone to the party. And you're missing the period at the end. Okay, my father said that Lucy would come later. Perfect, Kevin. Diana, my father said that Lucy would come later. My father said that Lucy would come later. Okay, later. Okay, really a good one. My father said that Lucy would come later. Perfect. Would come later. Lucy would come later. My father said Lucy would come later. Elvis, you're missing the R. Yes, there you go. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's move on. He hasn't eaten breakfast, she said. He hasn't eaten breakfast, she said. He hasn't eaten breakfast, she said. Okay, she said he had not eaten breakfast. Okay, she said he had not eaten breakfast. Perfect. She said he had not eaten breakfast. She said he had not eaten breakfast. Yeah, the same. Yeah, he had not eaten. Yeah, you can omit that. You can have had in not contracted. Yeah, there's no problem. Yeah, it's going to be like that. Perfect, guys. I can see you're doing a very good job. She said he had not eaten breakfast. Perfect. Let's continue. I visited my parents last weekend. My friend said. I visited my parents last weekend. My friend said. I visited my parents last weekend. My friend said. Okay, guys, go ahead. Okay, so we have my friend said that he had visited his parents. Where are you? His parents the previous weekend. Okay, check just the spelling mistakes right there. My friend said that he had visited his parents the week before. Okay, the week before the previous weekend. Yeah, there's a problem. Yes, yes, you're right. Okay, so if you see, so we have. So I guess everything is getting clear right here. Okay, so let's. I guess there's another one. Okay, the last one, guys. I can help you tomorrow. I can help you tomorrow. The teacher told me. The teacher told me, and then we had a sentence. I can help you tomorrow. Okay, a video. The teacher told me that he could help me the next day. Perfect. The teacher told me that he could help me. He could help me, Noemi, the next day. The teacher told me he could help us. Oh yeah, help us in the case if it is as a group. You take it as a plural form. Okay. The teacher told me that he could help me the following day, next day. Perfect. Either you use the next day or the following day, it's correct. Okay, so I guess that we have no problems with the use of report speech right now. So let's move on, guys, to the second part, lesson B. Or maybe I wonder if you have any questions right now. Maybe I can give some time for you to ask a question. Okay, I can see that maybe there are no questions. Let's continue. The case of letter B, or lesson B and lesson 2, you're going to find in the PDF file. We're going to check the information about questions and instructions. Let's take a look at now the information we're going to have right here. When we use reported speech to express a question, we also shift the tenses. The new phrases change the structure of the question to a statement. So this is important, guys. We are not going to have the structure of a question anymore, but we're going to have the structure of a statement or a sentence. And the phrase in reported speech will be introduced by having the verb ask. Now, if you remember, we have two different types of questions. We have the WH questions with question words: what, who, which, where, when, why, and so on. And we have without a question words. That means a yes, no question. In the case of the original question, by having a question word or a WH word, so we're going to have something similar to this. When did you send the files? And the reported speech will be: Miles asked me when, so we're using the same when I had sent the files. In the case of without question word, we're going to have: Jenny, do you speak German? And the answer: Jenny asked me if I spoke German. So this is going to be the structure we're going to have. Now let's move on to something more explained. Here we have he asked him, when did she come? When did she come? So here we're using the WH word when. So what we're going to do is we're going to omit the comma and the quotation marks. We're going to continue. He asked him when. So if you see, you are using the same when. But in the case of the structure of a question, we're going to omit the structure of the question and we're going to move into a statement order or a sentence order in which we're going to find subject and the verb. Did she come is in the past. But here, as we're going to change the tense, if it is in the past, we're going to change this into the past perfect. When she had come. Okay? Let's continue. The police asked us, where are you going? Where are you going? So the police asked us, again, omitting the comma and the quotation marks, where, the same WH word, and the structure of the sentence. Where we, because the question is for you, where we were going. Are going in the present? In the past. Where we were going. The woman asked me, what time is it? The woman asked me, what time is it? The woman asked me, what time, and then the structure. It was present past. And the interviewer asked me, how have you been doing? How have you been doing? The interviewer asked me how, and then I had been doing. If you take a look at, in the case of WH words, it's going to be the same WH word, so you can introduce the statement, and then the statement has to be in the order of a sentence: subject and verb. We're going to forget about the auxiliaries: did, do, does. And if we're using the verb to be or have as an auxiliary or has, we're going to have them in the position of a sentence, not in the position of a question. And in the case of yes no questions, what we're going to have like this: he asked him, did you come on time? He asked him, did you come on time? So right here we're going to have he asked him, and take a look now the question. The question might be answered by having a yes or a no. Did you come on time? Yes. Or did you come on time? No. Because it is a yes no question, so the answer of the reported speech is going to be by introducing it with the words if or whether. You can use any of those, if or whether. He asked him if he had come on time. Yeah, I'm missing on time right there, but it's okay. So what is important right now, the structure. He asked him whether he had come on time. Okay, if or whether. Now check this one. The woman asked me, have you ever traveled by plane? Have you ever traveled by plane? So the woman asked me again, so if, whether I have ever traveled by plane. So we have the same piece of information. So because it is a yes no question, we're going to introduce it by having if or whether. Continuing, the police asked us, are you going to buy in the supermarket? Are you going to buy in the supermarket? So the police asked us if or whether we were going to buy in the supermarket. If we were going to buy in the supermarket. And the last one, the interviewer asked me, do you want to work here? Do you want to work here? The interviewer asked me if or whether I wanted to work there. Okay, basically that's what you have to take into account, guys. If you see, if it is a WH word, we're going to start the sentence by using that specific WH word. But if the question is a yes no question, you're going to start it by having if or whether. Any questions with this piece of information, guys? Okay, guys, any questions so far? Uh-huh. Yeah, I guess Gabby has a question. Yeah, and I'm going to explain as well something that's happening, or some information that is in the book. Yeah, in the case of modals, no. If you take a look at maybe yeah, if you go back to the box, to the chart that we have, in the case of modals, no. If we have, maybe I'm going to go into this. If you have, in the case of modals, if you have wheel, that becomes wood, and in the case of wood, that remains into wood. So that means if you have a sentence, I would like to work here, and he said that he would like to work here or there. Okay, in the case of can, that will be coming to could, and if you have a sentence in could, in the direct speech is going to change, or is going to remain in the same could. Now if you have, in the case of may, that might be might, and might will become might. So that means if you have the second line in the report, if you have the second line, this line, into the direct speech, you're going to use the same in the indirect speech. In some cases, when we use must, we have a change. If it is must, I have seen in some books that you have to use had to, but let's suppose that you have had to, so you're going to continue saying had to, yeah, because you cannot say, or well, had to. Had, yeah, the first one is going to be the auxiliary, the second will be the verb. Okay, in the case of should, that might be the same should, and let's see if one is missing, or maybe ought to, that might be the same ought to, so we don't have any changes. So those are going to be the different yeah, in the case of may, that's going to become might, but if you have might in the direct, it's going to be the same might in the indirect. No, in the case of if and whether, you have to use them. Now I will give you another example by using the same. Let's suppose that we have the question right now. Let's just change this. Sim. So let's suppose the question is, did you travel to New York? Did you travel to New York? And then we're going to have he asked me. Okay, did you travel? The answer for this, did you travel to New York? Yes, no. So that means that this is a yes no question. So what are you going to use to introduce? Because you don't have a WH word, you are going to use if or whether. And the answer might be like this. He asked me if, let's go with if first, if I had traveled to New York. To New York. Okay, so we need to have if. Just mind having if. He asked me I had traveled to New York. No, that sounds really weird. So we need to have if right here. Or if we want, we can have the same, but instead of having if, we can have whether. He asked me whether I had traveled to New York. Let's go with another example. Let's suppose that I have let's see. Oh well, we better go into is she. Is she taking classes online? Is she taking classes online? And let's suppose that this is oh, her father asked. So we can say, well, in the case of the question, is she taking classes online? What might be the answer? Yes, no. And because it is a yes, no, that's a yes, no question. So we are going to use if or whether. So let's go with the possible answer. We can have like this. Her father asked if she, and because it is taking, we're going to say was taking classes online. Period at the end. And if you see here again, we're using if, and in the case of the verb, that changes into was taking. And if you see the structure, we have subject, verb. Now, in the case of whether, her father asked whether she was taking classes online. Okay, again we're going to say whether, and then she was taking, the same structure. Because the sentence is in the present continuous form, we have to change this into the past continuous form. Now, am I clear with this? Okay, let me see. I guess there are some more questions. Can you give us example using present perfect, like have you ever? Okay. If you have to use if, the thing is that either you use if or whether. Yeah, I will give you first of all. Let's see. But I want to make sure for the first question was asked by Isaias. Isaias, is this clear? In the case of the use of if or whether, it is not optional. So we're going to have them only if you have a yes no question. If you have a WH question, you need to have the WH word. Okay. Well, I'm going to finish with this. There is no rule. The thing is that when you use whether, you normally talk about two options. It will be like this. Her father asked whether she was taking classes or not. The thing is that when you say whether, you imply like two options. Her father asked whether she was taking classes online or not. You can omit it or you can leave it. And this or not can also be added right here. So you can say her father asked whether or not she was taking classes online, or her father asked whether she was taking classes online or not. But in the case of if, you only have if and that's it. Maybe you can say if she was taking classes online or not, but you could use that or not to talk about like two different options only when you use whether. Okay, now let's continue. In the case of Gabby, can you give us an example using present perfect, like have you ever? Okay, let's go. The question can be have you. Let's see, guys, have you ever ridden? Let's go. Have you ever ridden a horse? What might be your answer, guys? Let's see. Give me your answers, guys, in the chat. Have you ever ridden a horse? Everyone, have you ever ridden a horse? I want to check your answers in the chat. Have you ever ridden a horse? Okay. In the case of Gabby says no. Okay. Azucena says that she hasn't. Isaias hasn't. Elvis. Oh, Elvis. Good. You had the opportunity of riding a horse. Okay, I remember I had the opportunity, but that was a long time ago. Yeah, I really felt afraid. In the case of Kevin. Kevin has done it. Yeah, good. So, but now take a look at your answer. Your answers are no or yes. So that means that this is a yes no question. And let's take a look at what we have here. The teacher asked, and because I was asking this question for all of you, I'm going to use asked us. Okay? So I'm going to start saying the teacher asked us if, because it's a yes no question, if, but because we're using asked us, this you is not referring to only one person. It's referring to a group of people. And because it is a group of people, I'm going to use if we, and then have you ever, present perfect. Present perfect will change into the past perfect. So we're going to say asked us if we had ever ridden a horse. Okay, the teacher asked us, then we have if we have ever ridden a horse. But we can have the same sentence by saying the teacher asked us whether we had ever ridden a horse. But let's suppose that the question was only for Gabby, because I'm saying Gabby because Gabby asked this question. What if I say, Gabby, have you ever ridden a horse? Gabby's answer was no. So, and then Gabby can say, because the question wasn't for a group of people but was directed to only one person, Gabby can say the teacher asked me whether asked me if I had ever ridden a horse. And right here is going to be the same, because the question was only for one person. Asked me whether I had ridden a horse. Okay, am I clear with this, Gabby? And that's going to be the same every time that we have present perfect. The change is going to be into the past perfect. Okay, now let's take a look at, I guess there wasn't a question. In this case, if it's not optional, it's yeah, it's obligatory. Yeah, we better call it mandatory. I'm going to type it right here. That's that you are obliged, that you must do it. Okay, so it is mandatory. Yeah, Kevin, it's mandatory to put if or whether in the case. Yeah, if you don't have a WH question, you need to have if or whether. Okay, any other questions, guys? Okay, if not, let's take a look at if we can complete some exercises. I guess I have prepared some exercises right here. Oh well, I guess they are at the end. So, but there are some exercises for you to practice. This is going to be like the last part, almost the last part of the information we're going to have. Now, reporting what people ask and instruct. Now we're going to get into requests or commands. So, take a look at information. It says when we use report speech to express a request, we use the true infinitive form and introduce it by using the verb ask when it is a request. For suggestions or commands, we will use the verb tell. In the case of negative phrases, we will add the particle not before to. Take a look at now the request. Could you help me with the dinner? Could you help me with a dinner? I know that this is a question, but it can be taken as a request because you're asking someone to help you with something. Could you help me with can you help me with a dinner? And that's why we have my dad asked me, we're using the same verb ask, and the structure will be different because instead of saying my dad asked me if I could help him, no, instead of using if I could, we're going to use the to infinitive. My dad asked me to help him with the dinner. In some cases, in the request part, we're going to have please. If we find a please, it's because we're having a request over there. And in the case of commands, we're going to have don't open the presents yet. Don't open the presents yet. That is a command. That is an instruction. That is something that you have to pay attention to. Okay? That is an order. Don't open the presents yet. And in the case of commands, we're not going to use the verb ask, but we're going to use the verb told. They told us, and then the same. Because it is negative, we're going to say not to open the presents yet. They told us not to open the presents yet. Basically, this is the structure. Now, let's move on to some other examples. Requests. Please don't smoke. That is a request. Please don't smoke. You can say she asked me not to smoke, because that was a request. She asked me not to smoke. Could you bring my book tonight? Could you bring my book tonight? That's not a request, even though it's a question, but we're going to take it as a request. Okay? That's why we have she asked me to bring her book that night. To bring her book that night. And can you pass the milk, please? Can you pass the milk, please? So she asked me to pass the milk. And that please cannot be taken in the reported speech because it only tells us that is a request. But again, every time that we have requests, we're going to use ask. Again, the person you're asking the request or you're requesting to asked me, asked her, and then the to infinitive form. To bring, to pass. And if that request is something in the negative form, we're going to use not to smoke. And in the case of commands, those are orders. Those are some things that you have to follow, and you are not asked whether you want to do them or not. You have to do it because that's an order. Go to bed. Go to bed. Just imagine your father and your mother. When your father and mother tells you to go to bed, she's not even telling you, okay, well, guys, I cannot imagine like Elvis' mother, like Elvis, could you go to bed, please? Or in the case of any of you, yeah, in the case of Noemi, can you go to bed, please? Or do you want to go to bed? No, go to bed. It's an order, okay? That's why he told the child, or she told, for example, she told Elvis or she told Noemi to go to bed. In the case of Kevin, let's say Kevin, don't worry, that's a command. So he told her or he told him not to worry. Be on time. Like in the case of, for example, Isaias and Gabby, be on time. We're taking an exam, be on time. That's an order, that's a command. It is not a request. And that, the teacher told us to be on time. In the case of Diana in Ovidio, let's suppose that Diana smokes. And Diana and Ovidio smoke, and we are at a university, and they are near one of the classrooms, and they start smoking. Do you think one of the security guards is going to go near or is going to approach them, and they're going to politely say, hey guys, please don't smoke? No, they're going to go right there directly with that command. Hey guys, don't smoke. Don't smoke. Yeah, that's why we're going to say he told us not to smoke. And that's why when you're talking about commands, we're going to use to go, the infinitive form, or if it is negative, not to. Okay? So those are going to be like the information of questions, commands, and requests. I wonder, guys, if you have questions right here, or maybe we're going to go the same by using Oh yeah, in the case of Gabby, I didn't read this. The doubt that you have when using whether is it optional to use or not? Yeah, it is optional. If you want, you can use it. If not, well, it's okay. Okay. Okay, guys. Now we're going to check your information, the information about questions, requests, and commands by giving you um, the following sentences, questions, and everything. Yeah, Kevin, you're right. Definitely. Yeah. Okay. Now, guys, we're going to have last examples, the last exercises for you to check here. Okay, guys. Now let's go with this. It says change the following requests and commands in the reported speech. Let's start the sentences with the pronouns he or she. Okay? He or she. And the first one is, please help me carry this. Please help me carry this. Okay, guys? Take your time. Please help me carry this. You have to start your sentence by having he or she, or maybe you can start with something else. It says, Mary asked me to help her carry Joe. Yeah, it's okay, kidding, but in the case of those, we can have those because the information here is this. The terminator is in the singular form. He asked me to help him. Okay, he asked me to help him carry that. Perfect. Gabby, period at the end. He asked me to help him carry that. Perfect. No, but it's okay. She told me to help her carry that. Perfect. Video. Oh. Well, remember, we're practicing, okay? Okay, let's continue, everyone, with the second one. It's, where can I spend some time with my family? Where can I spend some time with my family? Report speech. Where can I spend some time with my family? Where can I spend some time with my family? Okay, Elvis, she asked me where she could spend some time with her family. Perfect. Where she could spend some time with her family. Yeah, perfect. You say yeah. She asked me where she could spend some time with her family. There you go, Gabby. Oh yeah, Kevin. He asked me where he, in this case is he, H-E, where he could spend some time with his family. But that's okay. Okay, let's move on. Can you help me with my homework, please? Can you help me with my homework, please? Let's see how well you do with this. Can you help me with my homework, please? Now, video, he asked me where he could spend some time with his family. Yes. Now, let's continue with the following. Can you help me with my homework, please? Okay, Elvis, he asked me if I could help him with his homework. Okay, let's see. On video, he told me if I could help him. Gabby with a question mark. Okay, just remember, guys, that you have a please right here. So that means that this is a request. So, and if it is a request, what's going to be the structure we're going to use? Can you help me with my homework, please? And it's a request. Okay, that's a good one, Gabby. She asked me to help her with her homework. Okay, she asked me to help her with her homework. Homework. Okay, yeah, it's like that. Yeah, remember, if it is a request, to infinitive. If it is a normal question, we're going to have the change of tense in the statement. Perfect. Let's continue, everyone. Why are you studying English? 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 Okay, in the case of Gabby, he asked me why am I Gabby, the only thing that you have to change right there is the position. Remember, after the WH word, you need to have the subject and then the rest of the verb. Oh yeah, and take a look at the change of tense. In the case of a video, let's see, Isaiah. Okay, that's perfect. Brenda, Susana. Yeah, but you shouldn't include a question mark at the end. Yes, Gabby, like why I am or what I was. Yeah, I'm going to explain that at the end because of a part that is in the book. My dad asked me why I was studying English. Perfect, Kevin. He asked me why I was studying English. Perfect. Yeah, it's going to be like that. Let's continue. Move on with the following sentence. It will be like, don't stay up so late. Don't stay up so late. Everyone, don't stay up so late. Don't stay up so late. Okay, Isaias, he told me not to stay up so late. Perfect. Just like that. Yes, Elvis. Excellent, Gabby. Perfect, Kevin. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. Next one. Will you take a nap later? Would you take a nap later? What about this one? Would you take a nap later? Would you take a nap later? Azucena, he asked me, would you? No, there's a change you need to have, Azucena. Kevin, he asked me, would I take? No, Kevin, you need to have a change. Remember, after this is a yes/no question. You're missing the if and would, if and whether. Yeah, in the case of Isaiah, that's okay. She asked me if I would take a nap later. Yeah, Gabi, that's okay. Ovidio, that's perfect. Yeah, in the case of Azucena and Kevin, remember that you need to have a e for whether, war, because it is a yes/no question. And in the case of Kevin, you need to have the change of position. Yeah, yeah, that's the way it is. Perfect. Let's move on. Two more sentences or question. Does she have any pets? Does she have any pets? Does she have any pets? Okay, let's see. In the case of Kevin, she asked me if she had any pets. Yeah, she asked whether she had any pets. Perfect. He said yes. That's the way it is, Kevin. She asked if she had any pets. Yeah, Ovidio, she asked me if she had any pets. Perfect. Excellent. Yeah, that's the way it is, guys. He asked me if she had any pets. There you go. Let's continue. If I'm not mistaken, this is the last one, guys. Open your books on page 75. Open your books on page 75. Open your books on page 75. Remember, this will be late. Something that the teacher might tell you in the class. That's something we normally use as teacher in classes, okay? Open your books on page 75. Well, actually, it's not a phrasal verb. This on, it's page. Well, it's related to what page is. Okay. Yeah, Gabby. That's the way it is. Oh, period. Good one. The teacher told us to open our books on page 75. Yeah, that was the last one. Yeah. Open your books on page 75. So the answer is, as Gabby says, the teacher told us, or he told us, to open our books on page 75. Oh, I guess he did. Okay. Okay. Now that was just something tricky I wanted to do. Okay, but now guys, I'm going to ask you to do something, and this is now like an example. This is something I want you to do. Yeah, the information that we have been talking about, it's on page 109. Page 109. Can you please open your books on page 109? Okay, and on that page we are going to have the user reported questions using the word order of a statement. They do not have question marks, but what we're going to do is to focus on the second part, where we have, you do not need to shift back the verb tense when you report information about the present or future that is still true or relevant. Now I want to focus in here. I want to focus on the following information so we can finish today's class. We're going to take a look at the we're not going to change the tense if we do the following. So there are two cases in which we are not going to report information by using the change shifting, and that is going to be in the present or future when that is still, it says that is still true or relevant. So when is it that we're going to have this? Here we have it as in question. So first of all, we're going to talk about we're not going to change in the present when something is true. When something is true. And if you take a look at the first question, it's do you have any kids? Do you have any kids? We're asking this. It's something true for the person who's being asked. So we are not going to change this by having the tense shifting in the case of reported speech, because it might be something true about you. Take a look at it. Says, do you have any kids? I have two. A woman asked me if I have kids. I told her I have two, because that's something true. You cannot say that I have two, because it would be like you don't have them anymore. It would be like one of the questions I ask you is like, are you at home? Are you at home? So this is something that is true in your case. I don't know the answer, but it's something true about you, and that's why you can say the following. Are you at home? You can say, he asked me if I am at home. So if you see, so we don't have any changes of tense. So we're going to continue with the same simple present, because we have, oh yeah, it's a yes, it's going to be like that. He asked me if I am at home. Are you at home? Yeah, he asked me if I am at home. So what if I have the following? Let's see. Do you live? Something information that is true. Do you live in Soyapango? Even though the information is not true that you live in Soyapango, but I'm asking for something that might be true or not. That's why the information might be, well, that woman, you can say that woman asked. Here we're going to have whether I live in Soyapango. Yeah, because the woman is asking or trying to get to know some information that might be true about you or not. Or it would be the same. Let's see. Do you like ice cream? Then the man asked me if I like ice cream. So again, in this case, because it might be some information that is that it might be true or not about you, you cannot change it into the past form. In this case, you cannot say if I like. Not this, because it is something true or not, you might use the same tense. You don't have to change anything. Or relevant information about you. Okay, and something else in the case of the future, you are going to use when something, I'm going to use like this. Maybe I'm going to have another page. When something, we're going to have, when something hasn't happened yet. When something hasn't happened yet. So let's suppose, guys, that I tell you right now that we're having a conference. Guys, okay, I can tell you, guys, you're going to have an exam on Friday. Or you will have an exam on Friday. Get someone is. Okay, so let's see. So is that the same as in the case? Yeah, it's going to be the same. What are you studying? Because it's information that is true about you, or it's something relevant from your case. So remember that in the previous questions, or the information that we have been talking about, my focus is on you to practice the shift of the tenses. But now let's take a look at some exceptions we can have to the rule. The first one is if the information is relevant or it's true about you. And what Gabby says is okay. So in the, well, maybe I'm going to move to this one. Why are you studying English? Let's suppose the teacher asked this. The teacher asked us why we, because it is asked us, why we are studying English. So in here, the information will remain the same. So we're not going to have any changes because it's some relevant information about you. The teacher asked us why we are studying English. Okay? Yeah, when the question it's just asking for something that is true about you, Kevin, or it's something relevant about you, you don't have to change the tense. So am I clear with the first part? When something is relevant or something is true? Okay, now check the second one. In the case of the second one, it's when we refer to something that hasn't happened yet. So for example, again, I tell you, guys, in the case of a sentence, you will have an exam on Friday. And then let's suppose that somebody who wasn't in the conference asks you, do you know what the teacher talked about today in the conference? And then, oh yeah, he was explaining the use of reported speech. Oh, and by the way, the teacher or teacher Dennis, okay, give me a second. So you can say teacher Dennis said, or yeah, because it is something general. You can say teacher Dennis said that we will have an exam on Friday. So in here, why do we have right here? Oh, okay, it says would. Take a look at it. It says would because we're having. But why are we going to remain with will? Because of this. Because the person asks you for this piece of information, and we are not on Friday yet, but we're some days before Friday, this information, it's something that hasn't happened yet. So that's why you can continue by saying will, or if you want, you can use would. There's a problem, but it's preferable for you to say will because again, this hasn't happened yet. Okay. Now we can have another example. We can have something like this. When no, when will we? Let's see. When will we come back to classes? Classes at a university. So when will we come back to classes at a university? And let's suppose that that is a question that you're asking, and I go with the coordinator and I tell her, it would be like, Monica, yeah, Miss Perez, the students asked me when we will come back to classes at the university, or like being at the university. If you see again, here we're going to have would, because if we want we can change this into would because we're reporting. But why are we using will? Because it's something that hasn't happened yet. Are we back in classes at the university? No. So because we haven't gone into this activity, we can use the same tense and no changing it. Now, am I clear with this, everyone? Okay. Okay, that is the information that you have in the book. So now, based on everything, guys, that we have studied in the case of report speech, statements, sentences, or questions and instructions, do you have any other questions right now before we? Yeah, because everything, this is it. I mean, this was the whole class. I guess there are no questions, guys. Well, first of all, I want to thank Azucena, Christian, Elvis, Gabby, Isaias, Kevin, Ovidio. I guess Noemi was here. I said and Noemi also was right here. Was Noemi, Andrea, if I'm not mistaken. But well, this was the class that I wanted to prepare. So as I was telling you at the beginning, I'm going to the recording we're going to have this class is going to be uploaded on my YouTube channel, and then will be posted on the classroom so you can check it later on. Yeah, no, guys, everything's clear. Thanks, teacher. And thank you for being here, guys, because I mean, if there are no students, there are no teachers. Okay, and I guess everything was like more productive like in the previous class, so that's why I wanted to do that at the beginning to review and to have a better idea, first of all, what the use of determiners and the ing form is, and then the use of report speech. I know that it's sometimes difficult to go into this, but yeah, anyway, so in a way, yeah, let's say that we're learning, yeah, that we're doing our best, and I'm just going to encourage you guys to continue working, to continue doing your best, study at home. Remember that you have the activities over there, and I hope you have read the email that I sent you yesterday. We're going to continue working. Yeah, well, those are going to be the last activities we're going to have, because remember, next time, well, Next week we're going to have a Holy Week, so no classes. Maybe I'm going to just upload some material for the ones who want to continue practicing. And this is going to be it, guys. And again, thank you for everything. Thank you for being such great students and for continuing being. Yeah, remember that we cannot continue with this if we don't have any students. Yeah, and in the case next week, we're going to stop. Maybe we can just communicate in one day if you want to. If not, well, it's up to you. But that would be just for us to continue. I'm going to upload some more material for you to continue practicing, improving, and that's what I want you to do. I don't want you to take this week as if it is only like, or well, this time as if we had a long time for vacation, but it's not like that. So this is just a different way how we can continue taking classes, and I will do my best, guys, so you can continue practicing, so you can continue doing your best. But it is not, well, it is not 100% of me, but it is going to be just what you are going to do at home. Okay, so far maybe you upload more exercise about this. I will do. So this is not going to be posted on the PDF file of the classes, the lesson with all of the explanation, but maybe I can upload a quiz. Maybe I can upload a quiz, like, or a practice, so you can take a look at. That would be like a review of everything you have done from the 2 lessons that we have studied, and that will be something good. So you can continue practicing. Remember, guys, continue practicing with lessons C and D from the book. I will work on it tomorrow, so I can upload the exercises with their corresponding answers, so you can listen to the information and you can check, and well, that is going to be it. So remember, practice make the best students. Okay, so try to practice, try to continue working, and this is it, guys. Okay, so thank you again, guys, for being nice. So we have only 8 students today. Yeah, but everything has been perfect. Okay, thank you again for everything. Have a nice day, a nice afternoon. Enjoy with your parents, your families, brothers and sisters, and everybody around you. Okay, so bye bye, blessings, and see you next time.